Hi everybody, I'm back here again just after coming out of the gym in training for our Sanji once again, so I'll be ready for him in due course. Hope he's ready for me, because I'm coming down the track. It's bound to be a train crash at the end of it all. Anyway, I've got here, really breaks down into 4 questions, 2 from the same person and then 2 different people. 2 from Sean Dodson, 604, 1 from Totes #1 Fan Forever, and Kevin Catnip, 7589. The questions are, you look well for your age. I'm very interested in your daily regime, in keeping fit and healthy. Also, what sort of diet do you favour? Second question from Sean. What attracted you to Aikido? How can Aikido be used in daily life? Then we've got Tote. In Kyushindo, you talk about if you grab water, it will slip away. How do we become more like water? Then we've got Kev. Did your spiritual training affect wrestling or a job to do, and on with the job? Well, I'm going to attempt to blend that all together, because really it is one conceptual answer that I'm going to give you. Going back to the first part, because diet and lifestyle is quite important to everybody, and how you keep healthy, fit, and you live to a right old age, which I don't seem to be doing too bad at the moment. I'll keep that up. It's really about having the right food. Just eat sensibly. There's no special diet. It's just sensible. Stay away from sugars, fatty foods, have lots of fruit and vegetable. And I very much favour a lot of white fish and fish with oil in it, mackerel and herrings and things like that. I also like jelly deals, would you believe? Jelly deals are a great favourite of mine. As far as the rest of it is concerned, it really is about peace of mind. I'm going to put it as simply as that. And that comes from being able to totally relax. In meditation, they say, let things fall away, let go. And that's what I was talking about when I was talking about the water. I didn't say, how do you become water? That's not the point. What I was saying really is that in order to let go, just pretend you've fallen into water. And instead of grabbing the water and trying to climb out of it by using the water, don't do that. Give into it. Give into the water and learn how to swim. And then the water will support you, won't it? And in a funny sort of way, I'm not referring to swimming in human beings here, but most animals know how to swim and never been trained, have they? If a dog or an animal, a mammal falls into water, 99% of them will swim out. Nobody's trained them how to do it. So really, if you really think about what I'm talking about, and it's not about swimming in water, it's about knowing how to relax and be yourself, because you already know how to do that. All you've got to do is let it happen. You already know. In true guru fashion, if you were sitting in front of a true master, he'd say, I've got nothing to say. There's nothing to teach. You already know it. All you've got to do is relax and let it happen. And it will. So I think one of the most important things is meditation. Now in meditation, I'm not referring to sitting in the corner chanting and clanging an old bell or anything like that. I'm just talking about sitting, which we call seated meditation, and just allowing everything to fall away. Let your thoughts, don't let distractions come in. And by getting that peace of mind, and once you get that, you also get a good night's sleep, because sleep's very important. It's very important to the human brain and the human constitution. You must sleep at least 6 hours a day, more if you can get it. So all that builds up into a lifestyle, which I promote as Kendo, which Kenichiro taught us. Now that also comes into the next question about Aikido. You see, Aikido and Kenichiro taught Aikido. Now, Kenichiro taught Aikido, not like Steven Seagal does Aikido, but Kenichiro had Aikido not one removed from the master, but from the master. He actually trained under Ishiba for 10 years. So I've got Aikido one removed from the master. I never met Ishiba, but I feel that I've been in the presence of, I was in the presence of a man that has been in the presence of him. And so that concept of body movement and flowing is very important. And this is also goes back to how we do judo, wrestling, Aikido, and all the martial arts, which I tried to speak to you about in one of the last videos, where I demonstrated to these dead gorgeous how you just got in there. Now, you got in there and you moved amongst them like that, but at the same time, you were moving them. To-do, and then push them away. The other idea, of course, is that as you're doing that, you can constantly talk to them in a funny way, and they can be sort of almost become mesmerised by what's going on. Now, if you go back to the samurai, ancient samurai, it is said that they had screams and shouts and ways of doing things that momentarily paralysed the other man's ability to do anything. Now that happens, and if you look at how, let's go into the concept of hypnosis just for one moment. What hypnotists do, they distract people from their normal procedure, and when in that distraction, they're able then to lead them down a road that they want them to go on. And the same thing applies to Aikido, to martial arts. In Billy Robinson's book, Physical Chess, he calls it. Now he's really talking about the same thing I am as far as Aikido and Kendo. What he's really saying is about misdirection. You don't tell your opponent, the other person who's playing chess with you, what you're trying to do. You make the moves in order to confuse them. You add confusion into it. And in that confusion, you take over and you're a winner. Now the same thing applies in judo, Aikido, and catch wrestling. You add this confusion into the person's brain. They don't know what you're going to do. You think you're going to do that, and you're not. You do something else. So it's misdirection, really. And in that process, they've got you. And it's the same thing. And, you can talk somebody through it. You can actually talk them through it. And they will follow your instructions. Strange though it may seem, they will actually follow your instructions if you know how to do it. And that is done by what I said, doing, not doing, being so fluid, not becoming water, but using that fluidness in order to defeat the other person, and they are trying to beat you, of course, so you've got to be better at it. And that's what I was really getting at in one of the earlier conversations about if you fall into water, don't grab the water because there's nothing to hold on to. You need to learn to swim. And what I meant was you need to learn how to do. You need to learn these techniques that will stand you in good stead right through your life. To my age, I still do it today. I still practice what I was taught in 1957 when I met Kenichiro. To this day, Kendo is very important to me. And I'm going to try to develop a system for you all that you'll be able to follow in due course to help you to understand it more than perhaps I'm able to put it over now. But I'm going to put a lot more thought into that before I actually do it. But it's on its way. So for now, I think I'll just wind this one up and let you think about what I've said to you, and maybe come back to you later with more answers, because I'm sure it'll lead to more questions. So once again, I'll say goodbye for now. See you soon.